Hi and welcome to Fabric Buys. It is February 2025 and this is my today project. So I decided I wanted to make a little miniature teddy bear just for fun, and it's just a fun project, so I wanted the easiest pattern I could find. And when I went online and looked up patterns, I found just a rectangular-ish shaped flat teddy bear, and I'm like, that's perfect for what I want to do. And so it's a pattern that's being sold on Etsy. I didn't buy the pattern because I think I can recreate the pattern without purchasing it, and I'm also too cheap. So I didn't, but I will put a link down below. Again, I didn't buy the pattern, so I have no idea how she did it. I'm not going to go ahead and show how I do this pattern in this video because I don't want to take away from that vendor because it was her idea. But I did go to Joann's yesterday, and yes, our Joann's is one that is closing, and I was able to find this remnant. It is a very soft brushed cotton, and so I thought it would be perfect to make the bear. Based on the picture that I looked at, I think she just draws the face in, and so I'm kind of playing with the idea how I want to do that. But I'm going to make as you can see, very small bear. I'm cutting out, the piece I am cutting out is going to be 3 inches by, well, it's 3 inches by 4 inches, but I think I'm going to go 3 by 8, so I have one less seam. I have to figure out whether or not that'll work yet. It might not because I'm putting a piece of fabric at the bottom, and I think I need the seam to hide the seam allowance. Yeah, I'm going to figure it out. Still in the process of figuring out. So, all right, that's my dog calling me. I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'll be back in a flash. Okay, so I'm not going to show my whole process here, but I did want to show this part. I'm making the ears, and I don't actually haven't cut them out yet, so I don't know if I'm doing a good job or not yet. But rather than cut them and then stitch them, I opted to just take the fabric I'm using, and I actually have it on the fold here, so I'm not sure how that's going to turn out, but I just drew on there and then I stitched, and I just literally used a regular number 2 pencil and drew it on there, and then I'm just stitched as best as I could on the lines. I'm not using my regular machine because it's in for repair right now, and so it's a little harder for me to use this machine. I'm not quite as familiar with it, and it doesn't have the same feet that my other one has that makes it easier, so my ears are a little bit off in size, but it'll be okay. They're not going to be right next to each other, and it's still going to be cute if it turns out. Again, I'm not sure yet. I'm going to get it cut out, flip it around, and see if it'll work. They're not going to get stuffed or anything like that, so at least I don't think so. So I'm going to move on. I have the body together. I just I need to make some shaping here and then get going. So I'll be back in a flash. Okay, so I'm still working on putting him together. What I decided to do was I drew on with a pencil. I drew his nose and his mouth the way I want it to look, and the position of the eyes. And instead of just drawing them on in the end, I'm going to actually try to just put some black thread on my machine and stitch here. Again, I'm not using a machine that I'm really familiar with, and I don't have the foot that I like to use, but we'll see how it works with that. So that's the step that I'm on. I did finish the front piece here, and this heart was one of the things that, besides the fact that the pattern looks super easy, this heart was something I was like, oh, I want that. So I love that. So I have some red fleece, so I just cut it out in the shape of a heart, and then I carefully stitched around, and I can't believe it came out as good as it did, because I'm having a really hard time seeing with the sewing foot that I've got, but it did. Okay, so I'm going to get going and get that face on and then keep going, and hopefully I'll be done in a flash. Okay, ready? Ta-da! There they are. Again, I didn't purchase the original pattern, so I'm not quite sure how it was sewn, but on these, I decided these needed to be pockets. So I did make them as pockets, and as I did that, I thought, oh, wouldn't it be cute to make them tooth fairy pillows? I've never made one before, so I don't actually know if these are big enough or if it would work. But that came to mind as I was sewing them. I did add the arms. Opted not to do legs, but you could. But this is where my turning gap is, right down here, and I like to have a pretty big turning gap. You could still do it. I think I didn't want to try on that. I only really felt like it needed arms on that. I did sew in the face, except for the eyes. So the eyes are just Sharpie. Just made Sharpie eyes on that one. And if I had my other machine, that I normally sew on, I might have tried to sew some eyes on there, but it's just too hard on this one with the way this one sews, and I don't have the right feet for it. So once I got 2 done, I thought, okay, I got to get 1 more done. So I did sew a 3rd one. This is an extra, When I was cutting out the pocket for this, I actually had just a small strip right along the side of it, and I thought, oh, I should make a fabric loop. And so I did add a fabric loop up here at the top, which I think would be cute. It's probably too big to dangle off your keys. I don't know, maybe not, but you could dangle it off of something. And so in order to kind of camouflage that loop, that's why I put a little bow on here, and I was lazy. I just machine stitched that right into there off to the side so it doesn't, you know, close up my loop. I got lucky on that one actually on it. So anyway, I think they are adorable and super easy. Not fancy or anything like that, but super easy. Love the heart. Love the heart from the original creator. I think that's just awesome on it. So there they are. I hope you like them. I hope that wherever and whenever you're at, you're having a great time, and thanks for watching.